What if every single team lost their best player and then a result of that, their second best player had to not only sometimes become the leader, but also produce like the 1A player in the National Hockey League? I'll put it in simple terms. The best player on every single NHL franchise no longer exists in this universe, meaning that the Edmonton Oilers now have Leon Draisaitl as their top player that has to lead them to a Stanley Cup. We are going to go ahead and see how that affects the league over the simulation. And maybe we'll see some new teams and maybe even new players flourish because of the opportunity of being a 1A type player. A guy like Evgeny Malkin has been behind Sidney Crosby his entire career, and a lot of it being overshadowed. Now he's 38 years old, maybe not the prime opportunity to put him in this sim, but 88 overall, he will be the best player on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we can go across the NHL. And I mean, Logan Couture is the best player on San Jose. We got Vince Dunn for Seattle, Jordan Kyrou for the Blues, Braden Point for the Tampa Bay Lightning, as Nikita Kucherov is taking a seat for this simulation at least. Boston has Charlie McAvoy. The Buffalo Sabres have Tage Thompson as their best player. Mackenzie Weegar for Calgary. Jacob Slavin for the Carolina Hurricanes. Chicago no longer has Bedard, so they are back to being poverty. Colorado still has Cale Makar to 96. Columbus, we got Damon Severson. Dallas has Jason Robertson because Miro Heiskanen is gone. Lucas Raymond for the Detroit Red Wings. Draisaitl for the Oilers. Matthew Tkachuk for Florida. The LA Kings still have Drew Doughty, even though he's out in real life. Minnesota's poverty. Montreal got Cole Caulfield. Nashville, Steven Stamkos is now the best player to 91. Although in my updated rosters, I'll probably lower him. Him and the Predators have not had a good start whatsoever. They are 0-5. And for an older team like them, that is not good. Jesper Bratt for New Jersey. The Islanders have Matthew Barzal. It was, I believe, Ilya Sorokin that I removed from New York. Adam Fox for the Rangers. For the Sens, we get Tim Stützle, very young. Travis Sanheim for Philly. Pittsburgh obviously has Malkin. And this is going to be a very fun sim. We're going to get to see who is the second best player on their team for every single team in the league and see who flourishes, getting more minutes, possibly getting more points, and maybe even more success as a team. At the end of season number 1, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning as the league's best team. 51 wins on the season, 21 regulation losses, and 10 in overtime. The Dallas Stars did very well. Nashville, surprisingly, I guess losing their best player actually helped them out in some way. Washington was a very good team. Colorado was up here, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who no longer have Austin Matthews. And the Flyers, I mean, they were not a good team to start off with, so no surprise they're down here. We got the St. Louis Blues and the Pittsburgh Penguins. No Crosby. I guess big problem considering Pittsburgh is at the bottom of the standings. Leon Draisaitl, without Connor McDavid, will have himself a season tied for the most goals alongside Mikko Rantanen at 55 apiece, but he would have the most points at 121. Jason Robertson at 113. We got Mikko Rantanen up here 107. Wyatt Johnston had a very good year, and Sam Reinhart as well. Shout out Shaq Hyman, who hasn't even recorded a point yet in this real-time NHL. Draisaitl and Rantanen both had the most goals. We know that. Jason Robertson was one below them with 54. Braden Point had 49. Wyatt Johnston 45. Stammer definitely producing like an $8 million player. We got Sam Reinhart up here, Kyle Connor, and Zach Hyman with 36. For the goaltenders, we got Jake Ottinger with the most wins. He had 43. And Sergei Bobrovsky, 10 shutouts on the season. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty wild, especially for like a 36-year-old goaltender. Here is our playoff bracket for year number 1. Winnipeg, Edmonton should be a show in round number 1. We got Toronto, Florida, a rematch. Overall, I'm just interested to see who makes the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, for the first time for both of these franchises, I mean, the Leafs haven't won a cup since 1967. Vancouver has never done it in franchise history, so we're going to have a brand new winner, essentially. And maybe a curse to be lifted here in the Stanley Cup Finals. We shall see if the Toronto Maple Leafs can make history for the first time since 1967 to win a cup, or will Vancouver finally get out of that category of franchises that have never done it? John Tavares on Thatcher Demko will take the lead here in game number 1 of the Cup Finals. But we got Forbort tying the game up, and Jake DeBrusk taking the lead for Vancouver. Shots are 33-29 for the Nucks. 2 minutes left to go here in game 1, and that is going to do it. The Vancouver Canucks will steal game 1 in Toronto. All right, we'll see if the Leafs have an answer here in game 2. We got no score heading into the third period. Oh my God, Leafs only have 16 shots on net, getting thoroughly outplayed by the Nucks right now. Vancouver, they want to make history too. Let's not forget, they have been somewhat of a poverty franchise, rioting in their city every time they make the Cup Finals and lose. 2011 still haunts them. 2 minutes left to go. Are we going to have overtime here in Game 2? We will have overtime. Let's see who will grab the OT winner, and it is Connor Garland on Joseph Woll as the Canucks have gone up 2-0 in the series. This is a pivotal game number 3 for Toronto. They're leading 2-0 heading into the third. I don't see William Nylander or Mitch Marner. Pontus Holmberg is going to give them an insurance marker, as it looks like Nylander or Matthews. Matthews is not even here in this universe. It's Matthews or Matthew Nyes. That is exactly what I was trying to say. 4-0 lead. And finally, oh my God, they damn near blew it at the end. 4-3 as the Canucks tried to mount a comeback, but Toronto finally gets a win in the series. So another pivotal game here. Vancouver can either go up 3-1 or Toronto will tie the series. A 2-1 lead for Vancouver here in the third period. Shots are pretty even, 22-18. As we get a very close series. There hasn't been really a blowout yet, I don't think. Although Vancouver almost went up 3-0 after trying to mount a comeback. They're holding on here. Thatcher Demko shutting the door as Toronto has zero offensive firepower. And the Vancouver Canucks have taken a 3-1 series lead. Well, this could be the opportunity Vancouver has always wanted to win the Stanley Cup. Not on home ice, though. We are in the 6th as Toronto leads 1-0 in this third period. Shots are 22-23. A very even game again. And there it is. Connor Garland will score, tie the game up. And we got ourselves a hockey game here, boys. A very tight affair. 5 minutes remaining in the third period. All knotted up at 1 apiece. Will we have OT? All right, here we are in overtime. I decided to hop in. Let's see if we can see some magic out of either Vancouver or Toronto here. Obviously, the cup is in the building. Jake DeBrusk blast one on Joseph Woll. Funny that didn't go in. Swiss cheese Woll making a save is an anomaly. Brock Besser back to the point. Philip Hronek wristing it. Great save by Woll, and he will cover that puck up. He's not making a fucking mistake about it, mate. Willie Nylander taking the face-off draw, considering they don't have that 1C anymore. Austin Matthews not a part of this team, sadly. Marner skating up the ice, coming in. Stride Deke over the Domi, slap-shotting it. That's how you know we're in a video game. Max Domi shooting the puck. Connor Soucy up to Hronek. Skating in. We got lots of time in overtime. Hopefully somebody does score though. Brock Besser over DeBrusk. And there it is. Jake DeBrusk will win it for the Vancouver Canucks, as in year number 1, they will create franchise history for the first time ever, going on and winning a Stanley Cup. There will be no riots in Vancouver, as they literally have nothing to riot about. They have dominated Toronto 4-1 series in 5 games, a gentleman's sweep. Toronto only got 1 game for the most part. Vancouver was ahead this entire series, to be honest. And we got Elias Pettersson winning the Conn Smythe Trophy. Only 2 goals, but he did have 23 points. Not gonna lie, he's kind of looking like one of the Sedin sisters right now. What is going on here? I know he's Swedish, but goddamn, is that Henrik Sedin that I'm seeing? What is going on right now? Lord Stanley being raised in Toronto. Man, honestly, I could see Toronto rioting if this ever happened, if they had to witness another team win the Stanley Cup in their home building. That might drive the fan base over the edge, to be honest. And there it is. No Quinn Hughes is the captain. That means Pettersson will select the trophy for Vancouver, as they have made history here in the very first season. Pettersson would have the most points in the playoffs. He was point per game. We got Jake DeBrusk at 22, Brock Besser at 21. So yeah, Vancouver's offense definitely helped them out. Oh my God, Connor Garland had 14 goals in the postseason. Jason Robertson will win the 10 Lindsay, the Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, all to Draisaitl. Cale Makar will win the Norris, the Conn Smythe, obviously to Pettersson. Sergei Bobrovsky will win the Vezina, and Joel Eriksson Ek will take home the Selke. No Barkov in this sim. Now, we saw back in 1920 when Connor McDavid did miss time, Leon Draisaitl won all the awards except the Maurice Richard. He got the Lindsay, the Art Ross, and the Hart Trophy. So it is funny to see a lot of these guys could be number 1 guys if they're not behind like a generational talent. Malkin and Draisaitl are very similar in that way. Even a guy like Braden Point might even prosper even more without Cooch. But then again, Kucherov probably makes him better and vice versa. Leon again leading the way for the Oilers, 55-20-7 record, the best team in the NHL, followed by Dallas. We got Minnesota up here, Colorado, and Pittsburgh, who was like 3rd last season. Now they're top 4. Well, what is going on? San Jose not really a shock to see them down here, either Chicago or Calgary, although Calgary in real life are like 4-0 right now. Draisaitl will go absolutely off, leading in goals with 59. He also had the most points at 118, tied alongside Robo. Steven Stamkos had 110, Wyatt Johnston 104, and Tyler Seguin will have a career high this season, 31 goals, 102 points, by far his best season, although he did have 33 goals. He had a 40-goal season one time also. On the goal side, Robertson had 58, Stammer 46. Not a lot of like prestige goal scoring going on in the NHL right now, only like 250 goal scorers. Stuart Skinner had the most wins at 45, and the most shutouts will go to Thatcher Demko with 7. Again, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the best time of year. Here is our matchups. Let's see who makes the cup final. No McDavid, no problem. We got the Oilers and the Lightning in the Stanley Cup finals. Obviously, both missing their best players, but it's Draisaitl versus Braden Point, Andrei Vasilevsky versus Stuart Skinner. I literally can't even make that joke. Here we go. Game number 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Tampa Bay leading 3-2 heading into the third period here. Let's see if Draisaitl has any more magic, as he has been dominating the NHL offensively. Emerson will score on Andrei Vasilevsky, and then egghead Darnell Nurse. And then Jeff Skinner, 3 in a row for the Oilers in the third period as they are trying to steal game number 1 after being down 4 in a row. Adam Henrique and the Oilers will take game 1. What a wild game number 1 we had in the Cup Finals. Heading into the third, a much more calm game, although the Oilers are dominating. 30-16 are the shots on goal, and Corey Perry will take the lead, but Hedman responds very shortly after. Draisaitl on Andrei Vasilevsky. The Oilers have a 3-2 lead. Now it's tied. Anthony Cirelli, what a gong show of a third period. Just back and forth offense on display here in the Stanley Cup Finals. As we do head to overtime, it only takes one shot to end it. Who will get the overtime hero? And it will be the Oilers. Jeff Skinner on Vasi, and they take a dominating 2-0 series lead. All right, Tampa Bay, this is as close as a must-win you can get, and they are down 2-0 in the third period. Jeff Skinner and Darnell Nurse are the goal scorers. Let's see what the Lightning have. Do they have hot? You can't teach hot, I know that. But I mean, the Oilers, they do have to have some composure. 8 minutes left to go. Not a lot of time for the Lightning to work. They get one. Shafee on Stuart Skinner. 5 minutes remaining. They got to push. Adam Henrique gets the insurance marker, and my Edmonton Oilers are up 3-0. I have 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals. I got a little bit worried by Gergensen scoring there, but we're okay. All right, moment of truth. Stanley Cup in the building, and the Lightning lead 2-0 heading into the third. Finally, they have a game where they respond, get some offense, get a lead, and hold on to this lead here in the third period. They have not been good at that so far. Halfway through the third period, still a 2-0 game. Shots are 28-24 the Oilers. And it does not look like, there it is, Braden Point will get the extra goal, and that is it. Tampa Bay will not be swept. Game 5 in Edmonton. The place is rocking, and we have a 1-1 tie heading into the third. All right, this is gut check time for the Oilers. You want to win it on home ice in front of your home fans, and you do not want to head back to Tampa for a Game 6. There we go. Leon Draisaitl on Andrei Vasilevsky gives the Oilers the lead, but Braden Point takes it away as fast as I take away candy from kids. 3 minutes remaining. We might have overtime again. It looks like we are. God damn it. All right, back-to-back seasons. We have an overtime in the Stanley Cup Finals. I will be hopping in, and hopefully we can have a goal as quickly as we did last year. Zach Hyman coming in, just straight up loses it to Eric Chernak. I don't even think Chernak did anything there. Again, coming out of the zone, up to Hedman. The newly minted captain of Tampa Bay, Jake Gensel, walking in, loses it on the poke check. Gensel looking in the middle, and Skinner makes the great save. Move it up to Draisaitl. Here we go. Dry over to Ekholm, loses it. Just a turnover machine right now. Come on, no. Braden Point coming in, shooting, and Skin Daddy will make the save. A massive draw for Leon Draisaitl. Up the forecheck. We're going full attack, baby. All out for the Oilers to try to win the Stanley Cup here. Here on home ice, Bouchard moves it up to Jeff Skinner. Loses it, but Draisaitl picks it up. Walks around his defender. Dry coming in. Loses it. Oh my God. Can the computers create any offense? Hagel to Gensel shooting that misses the net. That was close to going in. It was a good shot on net. Bouchard, that's your puck, buddy. Move it, Bouchard. You got to move the puck. What are we doing? Draisaitl He loses it as well. Gensel, full pressure. Hagel walking in, and what was that flimsy backhander? I don't even care. I mean, I'm only sitting in here for one full overtime period. Whatever happens after that, it happens. Hopefully, we get to see an actual Stanley Cup winning presentation. Jeff Skinner, come on. Get your wheels going. You got... This is what I mean. Computer AI overhauled my ass. Jeff Skinner had his defenseman beat. Turn on the jets, turn on the afterburners, and fucking drive that net. Why are you gliding and letting Eric Chernak catch up to you, bro? Drive the net. You basically have a full-on breakaway. I understand Victor Hedman's back, but, like, you got all the speed in the world to walk in and rip a shot on net. But no, you glide, let your defenseman catch up to you, and then do a stupid deke into the middle and get bodied. It's just not great performance at all. Hagel trying to walk in, doesn't even get a shot out of it. Anna Kane moves it up to Arvidsson. Come on, Victor Arvidsson, the new member of the Edmonton Oilers. Over to Nuggie. Come on, Nuge. You got to get the puck on net, brother. What are we waiting for? Oh no, halfway through the overtime frame, Hagel over to Gensel. Doesn't get a shot off. I swear we've had like one, maybe two shots in this overtime period so far. I'm going to have to adjust the sliders or do something here. Kane, there it is. Anna Kane shooting a backhander on net. And I mean, a 4 overall Vasilevsky is going to make the easy save. Very easy save, in fact. It is almost like watching paint dry. Emerson walking in, gets bodied. Like, what do I have to do to see a shot on net here? 2-on-1, Atkinson. Loses a 2-on-1, doesn't spread out there. Emerson moves it up, a risky pass up the middle of the yam mark, and he's going to dump and chase. Perfect. I mean, he's a fourth-line player for a reason, I guess. Maybe this will actually work. Here we go, behind the net. Come on, you guys have two people on the puck, and you can't steal it? Oh, my God. Cam Atkinson coming down the wing. Over to Connor Sherry, shooting, and again, not a shot on net in sight. What? Atkinson, again, back to McDonough. McDonough, over. Radish. Was that a shot on net? I don't even know if that was a shot on net. We only have 3 minutes left in overtime. Somebody has to score here. Adam Henrique busting down the wall. Henrique finding behind the net Yanmark in front, and a great save by Vasilevsky. It has only taken us 18 in-game minutes to actually get a high-danger scoring chance. 2:09 remaining in overtime, losing the draw. I probably should have thrown out Draisaitl. We get the fourth line out here. Come on, first line minutes. Leon get out on the ice while Tampa Bay is trying to score on their own net. What is that? Watching these computers go back and forth is going to put me into a home, honestly. I'm losing brain cells watching this. Ekholm! Come on, Matthias Ekholm. You got to shoot harder than that, dude. That was a flimsy little shot. Less than a minute remaining. Here we go. It is clutch time now. Who is going to score the overtime winner? Probably nobody. Oh, there we go. Ekholm on the breakaway. He's all alone. Coming in. Moves it over to Hyman. Oh, Zach Hyman gets robbed. I'm not going to lie. For a second there, I honestly believed Matthias Ekholm was going to go in and score the OT winner. I guess I was wrong. Draisaitl, full pressure. Ekholm. Somebody shoot it on net. Over to Bouchard, to Draisaitl. Great save. Skinner. Another great save by Vasilevsky. Hyman again looking back to the point. Bouchard wristing it. It gets blocked. Another one on net. We cannot score right now. Down low. Dry loses it, and Nick Paul is going to skate it out up to Gergensen. 19 seconds to go. Only one final chance for the Oilers if they want to score here. Ekholm, get it out. Moves it up to Derek Ryan. Oh my God, why is Ryan on with like 10 seconds to go? Corey Perry, what are you doing? Perry looking. Perry in front. We don't get a shot. Bouchard. And that will do it. We are not going to have an overtime winner, sadly. The good news is the Tampa Bay Lightning did force a Game 6 back in Tampa Bay. They won in overtime, and here we go yet again. Can the Oilers close the show? First period, a 3-3 tie. Holy hell. 4-3 lead after 2. Can we hold on to it? Just anything but besides overtime. I don't want to hop into another overtime period, to be honest. Braden Point ties the game on Stuart Skinner. Not a good look, to be honest. Not a great start here in the third for the Oilers, who are trying not to blow a 3-1 series lead. 5 minutes remaining. Oh no, it's going to happen again, isn't it? 2 minutes, 1 minute. All right, here we go. Real-time sim for OT. Can Tampa Bay force a game at number 7 back in Edmonton, or will the Oilers win Lord Stanley without Connor McDavid? We are coming to, even in the real-time sim, nobody can create any offense here. Shots are 43-24. And we don't have a single goddamn goal. All right, double overtime. Here we go. Second overtime frame of game number 6. And there it is. Tampa Bay will force a game 7. It is unbelievable that I have to sit here and watch my Edmonton Oilers blow a 3-1 series lead. Although 4-0 lead in the third period, I'm feeling pretty confident about right now. Here we go. Stuart Skinner, shut the goddamn door. Do not disappoint me. This would be the ultimate collapse of all collapses, but I think we're fine. The Edmonton Oilers will not blow a 3-1 series lead here in Game 7. They dominate Tampa Bay 4-1, and without Connor McDavid, they will go on and win the Stanley Cup on home ice. I mean, we couldn't do it in real life last year. Obviously, the Game 7 loss still haunts me to this day. And I don't get to see my glorious king raise the Stanley Cup, but I guess for the Oilers, this is a good thing, seeing that we're back to the promised land as Shaq Hyman, Conn Smythe winner. He had 13 goals and 41 points. Oh my God. Honestly, who needs Connor McDavid when you have Zach Hyman putting up 13 goals and 41 points in the postseason? Like, you don't even need a generational talent on your squad. And here is the moment of truth. We got, oh, what? Evan Bouchard was named the captain over Leon Draisaitl. All right, Bouchard comes to accept the Stanley Cup for the Oilers, as they have gone all the way here in season number 2. Leon Draisaitl again is going to dominate the awards. Other than the Hart, that will go to Jason Robertson. Erik Karlsson will take home the Norris. Obviously, Hyman, the Conn Smythe, Varlamov, the Vezina, and the Selke again to Joel Eriksson Ek. Now, as we head into the final season, the Oilers are still at the top, at least regular season-wise. 52, 22, and 8, 112 points. Colorado had a good season. The Predators were up here, Toronto and Tampa Bay. And at the bottom, the sad and lonely Philadelphia Flyers. Don't worry, Philly fans. You guys got Matvei Michkov. That dude is a stud. Draisaitl will have the most points yet again, this time at 113, followed by Rantanen's 112 and Braden Point 107. On the goal side, Mikko Rantanen, 66 tucks on the season. Draisaitl had his 51, as well as Braden Point, and Stammer had a very good season at 48. We got Vasi and Bobrovsky tying in wins with 41. And Elvis Merzlikins will have the most shutouts at 7. Also a 921 save percentage. Shout out to him. One final playoff run to decide it all. Maybe my Oilers go back-to-back. Maybe not. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Well, I was definitely not expecting to see the Anaheim Ducks in the Stanley Cup Finals, but they're up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's see if they can make this interesting, or will Tampa just straight up dominate them? So far, so good for the Tampa Bay Lightning, up 3-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's see here on home ice if they can close the show. 2-0 after 1 and a 3-2 lead after 2. Can Andrei Vasilevsky shut the door, win another Stanley Cup in the Lightning dynasty without Stammer or Kucherov? As we know, obviously, Stamkos on the Preds and Kucherov doesn't even exist. 5 minutes to go in this third period. And there we go. The Lightning will get revenge over last season, losing to the Oilers, dominate Anaheim, which wasn't a surprise at all. I don't even know how the Ducks made the Cup final, but it is what it is. I love the fact that this is probably not going to get patched for the entire game, and it might even be in NHL 26. Who knows? The fact that we're not even seeing, we're in the wrong end when the Stanley Cup presentation starts, but I guess at least a positive, the players don't actually disappear. Braden Point is the Conn Smythe winner, 16 goals, 31 points, a very, very good playoff run for him. And I guess the Tampa Bay dynasty will continue. Another Stanley Cup to their franchise's history. I don't even know how many they have at this point, but no Stammer, no Cooch, and they still get the job done, as newly minted captain Victor Hedman will raise Lord Stanley for Tampa Bay in the third and final season. Braden Point would have the most points in the postseason at 31. Braden Hagel had 28. Jake Gensel was very good. Mason McTavish pretty much carried the Anaheim Ducks with 8 goals and 23 points in the postseason. Rantanen will win the Lindsay and the Maurice Richard, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy to Draisaitl. Cale Makar wins the Norris. Point the Conn Smythe. Igor will take home a Vezina, and Nico Hischier the Selke. Well, that will do it for this simulation. As we went across the league, removed every team's best player, and we had a lot of parity still in the NHL. 3 Stanley Cup winners in 3 years in Vancouver, Edmonton, and Tampa Bay. All of them already being pretty good teams in real life, so no really surprising pick throughout this simulation. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.